So we are going through the 10 important points. And when there's been no one in the room, I've just been going forward and talking about the next one. But what I'd like to do is to tailor this to the person in the room. So I'm going to say an important point, and if you obviously know you've done it, say you've done that one. If you're not sure, say I don't know, and I'll tell you more.
Yes,
and
sir.
if you know you haven't, then that's the one we'll do. Does that
Yes,
make
sir.
sense? Okay. Light and swift, head as though suspended from above.
Yes, sir.
On that one. Close the chest and lift the back.
Yes, sir.
On that one. Loosen the waist.
Yes, sir.
On that one. Distinguish between substantial and insubstantial.
I think I have not done that one. You've referenced that we're going to do that one, but I don't believe I was here for the beginning of that.
Let's do it. And if it sounds familiar, we can go on to the next one, but let's do that anyway, because this is such an important one. And you'll see why in a second. So let me just read it to you again. The important point itself is fairly simple. Distinguish between insubstantial and substantial. We tend to say it the other way around, but in the point it's insubstantial first and then substantial. Commentary. So this first sentence says a bunch. The primary principle of Tai Chi Chuan is distinguishing between substantial and insubstantial. If the whole body is resting on the right foot, then the right foot should be substantial and the left foot insubstantial. If the whole body is resting on the left foot, then the left foot should be substantial and the right foot insubstantial. If you are able to distinguish between substantial and insubstantial, then turning and moving will be light and swift. You do not need strength. If you are not able to distinguish between substantial and insubstantial, then the footwork will be heavy and clumsy. You cannot even stand firmly, and you will be very easily pulled or moved. So I'm going to go through that real quick. Do you have any questions right off the bat, or do you just want to hear what I'm going to say about that?
No, sir. I'm ready.
So the primary principle of Tai Chi Chuan is distinguishing between substantial and insubstantial. That's knowing yin and yang. And knowing where your weight is in your feet. So all of the movements that we memorize don't mean really anything if you don't have feeling and control of where your weight is in your feet at all times. And then they just go ahead and kind of tell you what it means. So if all your weight's on one foot, then that foot's substantial, the other is insubstantial. And they do it specifically, right and left. And then the last part says, if you can distinguish, then it will make your movement light and swift and you can turn easily. But if you're not, then you'll be heavy and clumsy. And cannot even stand firmly and will be very easily pulled. That's talking about push hands, where someone pulls on you and you just go because you don't have the feeling to sink into the foot of substantial and insubstantial. So I can tell you the way to try it. Do you have any questions about that passage though first? Okay. So the way that we will try it is to go through our first section. We'll go through the whole thing. And forget about the head suspended, to close the chest, lift the back, forget about the waist for a minute. Only focus on the feeling of the weight in the feet. So I like to think of like my role for a minute is to be a very sensitive computer with sensors in each foot, or something like that, where you're going through the whole thing and you're just, even if you're not really like thinking percentages. So maybe it's a bad analogy, but it's putting your mind into the feeling of your feet. And so when you start to shift and turn, you feel the weight go there, right? And then when you shift here, it's not sudden, you feel it go, and then okay, I'm aware of all the weight down through the foot. Same thing here. So it helps you to go slow, to be able to feel it. And then it's one of those things where your mind will normally kind of go back to your script that, your internal, like, okay, I need to shift here, I need to get my toes right. But then when you notice that happening, just go back to feeling your weight in your foot. Oh wait, okay, I'm feeling my weight in my right foot. Okay, I'm feeling my weight in my left foot. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Thing to try. Okay, let's go through the first section. I'll throw out little audio cues to help kind of get the mind back in the feet. So feel the weight in both feet. Pretty even, pretty neutral. As you begin to sink, feel it go more in the right, feel the left become light, set. And then feel it kind of even out again, kind of settle. And it might feel pretty even for a moment. really shift it one way or the other. Still pretty even. Now feel the left foot become substantial. Feel your weight in your left foot. Then feel the change. Feel your weight in the sole of your right foot. Feel the change. Feel it in the left. Like, imagine like the feeling of your weight in the foot was the most interesting thing you could imagine. Full attention. Feel it in the right. Feel the feet. Feel it go back, forth, back, forth. Between the feet to the left, feel the weight of the left foot. Actually feel most of the weight in the left foot still, even though the right foot gets a little. Feel your mind in your left foot. And then in your right foot. And then still in your right foot. Still in the right foot. But really feel both. Just feel one as substantial, one as connected but insubstantial. Feel the right foot become substantial and the left foot insubstantial. Still the right foot substantial. Feel the left foot become substantial. And the right foot. And the left foot. And the right foot. And the left. And the right foot. And the left foot. See? Last brush knee. You get lost, just copy me. As soon as you get back in the groove, put your mind in your feet. All right. How was it? What was it like? If you want to share.
It was good. I was definitely not paying attention to the things I normally paid attention to. I caught myself jumping into it occasionally, but then realizing that I was focusing just on so much of the weight in the feet, almost like there was more weight in my feet than normal. But I don't think that there was. I think that there's had more focus there, so it
Yeah.
felt like that's what I was more conscious of. So it felt almost heavier,
That's great.
and I don't think that my form was. It was better in some ways, but it was definitely worse in other ways.
These are all signs you're on the right track. Very good, yeah. And so if you couldn't hear, yeah, the form feeling better in some ways, but also something's kind of falling off and not feeling as good. I like the idea of feeling like there is more weight there, because you know physically it's the same you over the same feet, right? But you can imagine, one, just the awareness of it, just feeling for it. You could also imagine relaxing in such a way that some weight that was held in structure is now feeling relaxed down through itself. I don't know if that makes sense. But
Almost like, I mean, there's like the water in the body is just going down into the
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah, very cool. Well, let's go one. We don't have time to do the whole thing again. We're over a little bit, but I think this is important anyway. So let's go once more to single whip. I'm going to shift the focus just a little bit. So it's still feeling the feet, but see if you can feel the whole body connected to the feet. So instead of just feeling the effect of the body's weight, see if you can be aware of the whole system of weight all the way down. That's a tall order, but just try it, see what you feel, see what you notice. And that's how these things are helpful. It's not that they're helpful once you get them, you know, they're helpful because you're trying to get them.
Sorry.
So start right here. See if you can feel it from the top of the head, down the shoulders, down the back. Feel all of that in the feet. And begin. As you move through, just keep coming back to it. It's all right if you stop doing it. That's normal too. Just come back. Feel the weight of the body down in the feet. Continue. Come back. Feel your body's weight in your feet. All right, very good work. Let's do our life skill. Now let's do our life skill. The path of self-mastery requires a creative spirit. A creative spirit has no self-doubt.
Path to self-mastery requires a creative spirit.
A creative spirit has
No self-doubt. The path to self-mastery requires a creative spirit.
A
Creative spirit has no self-doubt. That is Senior Head Instructor.
Thank you, sir. About to Black Straight Beginners. Dismiss.